In this video, I'm going to show you the mobility method you need to be able to keep up with your kids. Throughout my 20s and 30s, I was in really good shape. I came out of playing college baseball, got into CrossFit, became a coach, had a CrossFit gym. But whenever I reached my late 20s, 27, 28, 29, I started to have some serious knee problems. But being that stubborn guy, just competitive, just push through the pain, no gain, I continued to push my body and push myself. So heading into my 30s, 30, 31, I was getting pretty beat up. My body was breaking down on me, but I was still pushing it. I was still going. Around that time, me and my wife, we decided, like, hey, let's have kids. We've been married for over 10 years and let's have kids. And so in this period is really when I was hitting my lowest point is in my body. Like I was getting injured all the time, shoulder, back, my knees. I mean, I was 30 years old, but I felt like I was 60. Getting on and off the ground was becoming a problem. And it was becoming painful. Going up and down stairs, getting on and off the toilet was really starting to become a problem. And being a physical therapist, a PTA that I am, I realized like, oh, this is a serious problem. Once you lose your mobility, you can't really do the things that you want to do. And so I found myself at a time where it's like, oh, we having kids. Like, I want to be the fun dad. I want to be the dad playing on the playground. I want to be able to get on the ground and crawl around and do all these things with my kids. And I was having some serious issues, especially with my knees at that time. And I realized that if I didn't change anything, if I didn't start working on my mobility and flexibility and change my mindset around training, that I probably couldn't get on the ground or I wouldn't be able to go play on the playground. Or if I did, I would suffer. I'd pay for it for days and days after. Here, what I want to show you in this video is I want to show you three mobility exercises that has helped me improve my mobility, improve my ability to move and play with my kids and not be in pain and be able to do these things. And actually, this is what's helped me actually still stay fit, still stay strong. And, as I'm 38 years old now, I feel better, I move better, and I look better than what I did when I was 28, when I was busting my ass doing CrossFit 5 days a week, just lifting heavy, doing all this. And I'll tell you, whenever I shifted to mobility and really started using the steel mace, it allowed my body to move better and feel better. So now I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old daughter that I can get on the ground, I can bend over, I can pick up, play with them, play on the playground, and all these things without having any pain or limitations. So if you're a dad, if you're going through into your 30s, into your 40s, you really got to start focusing and paying attention to your mobility, how your body's feeling, how your joints are feeling. Because I tell you what, once your joints go out, it doesn't matter how strong you are or how fit you are. If your body is falling apart and breaking down on you because you lack flexibility and mobility, it's not fun. I'm going to show you 3 exercises that's going to help with your mobility, but also your strength. And that is important too. So the first exercise I'm going to show you, I call this a chop twist. Okay. So I got a 10-pound steel mace here, and I'm going to put my hand on the bottom, the bottom handle here. And I'm going to grab it here. I'm going to choke down. So you can grab it all the way at the end where the head of the mace is, or you can grab it down here. And I'm going to grab it down here because it's got a little bit more weight on the end. And what I'm going to do, I'm holding it here, hold it parallel. My elbows are by my side. So form a technique. And my feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the mace back, and I'm going to come through all the way to the other side. So chop, twist. So it's like I'm chopping a tree down with an axe. So boom. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flow with it. I'm going to let the weight of the mace give me a little extra pull, a little extra twist while I'm doing this. So I'm keeping the mace here. So I'm actually getting a pretty good workout in my forearms and my biceps too. But what I'm doing, I'm letting my feet, if you can look at my feet, you can see my feet are twisting, they're coming up. And I'm staying engaged even though I'm letting it stretch me, letting it pull me. Okay. So I'm going to switch sides. My right arm is burning. And so this is a chop twist. So this is something I did this morning. I get up here and I move. Mobility. It's good for the joints, lubricates the joints, but also I'm getting in some good strengthening because I'm swinging this steel mace around. It's 10 pounds, especially it's about 8 pounds here at the end, and the rest is about 2 pounds. So I'm getting this weight, and I'm really getting a good oblique exercise as well. If you can see, my muscles in my core and in my back are activated. So this is the first exercise. I call this a chop swing. So you can just pick it up, just play with it, do maybe 10 on each side, time yourself, just move around till it feels good. So the benefit of doing this chop twist while I do this, and how it pays off in the real world is, have you ever been driving and you have to reach back and go grab a noonie or grab a toy or grab a water bottle while you're driving? This is the thing. This is why I do this. So whenever I do these movements, it's like, oh, I need to improve my ability to be able to reach back while I'm driving. So this is very functional movement. So all these mobility, these movements that I do, they come from just everyday life. It could be coaching, playing sports, or it could be picking up my kid, or just reaching back while I'm driving and just to pick up something off the floorboard so the kid can stop screaming and crying. All right, so the next exercise I'm gonna show you, this is called a hip hinge squat complex, okay? So you're gonna grab the mace over, my hands are over. I'm using the whole mace. And I'm gonna bend down just like I'm doing a deadlift, so I'm getting a good stretch on my hamstrings. This feels real good. And I'm gonna stand all the way up. I'm gonna reach all the way up, keep the mace close to my body, reach up, extend, and I'm gonna put the mace on my back, and then I'm gonna do a squat. And I'm gonna come up, and I'm gonna repeat it. So I like to do about 5 of these on each side. Squat, stand up. So again, I'm getting mobility, movement, squeezing my glutes when I come to the top here, and then squat down, putting the bar on the back. So I'm getting a full body mobility in my shoulders, in my hamstrings, in my knees, in my back, and I'm just moving. And this feels so good. Just warm up. And again, these exercises, the mace is the most efficient way to train, the most efficient way to exercise. Because look, I've done CrossFit, done all this. I love doing it. I love working out, but I really don't want to spend as much time working out or exercising because I have kids. I have other things that I'd rather be doing, but main priority is to feel good, move good, and look good. So again, do this one on both sides. If you're moving, your mobility, you notice how hard it can be if you got to bend down, put on your kid's shoes. It's better put on your shoes. So doing this exercise is going to improve just your everyday life, just functioning, picking up a toy or picking up your kids. And this is why this exercise is so important. All right, so the next exercise I'm going to show you, the last exercise here, is an extended dragon. So we're going to use the mace here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down. So I'm on my left knee here, and I got the mace on my left side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward, put the mace just a little bit in front of my foot here, but it's on my left side, and I'm going to lean forward and stretch out. I'm going to let my head hang. So I'm getting a good stretch here in my hip flexors, and also here in my lats and my shoulder, and this feels really good. So with this one, you want to hold it for about 10-20 seconds here, and you can also move around with it. So it feels good. So I'm going to do it facing you so you can see. So the knee is that on the ground is the side that the mace is on. I'm going to lean forward and stretch. Just really elongate. Try to get as long as I can with my back leg and my arm. And this gives a really good stretch. And so if you really want to make this more dynamic, you can twist. You can reach across your body and poke your hip this way. So you get this nice little turn. And it really gives a good stretch all throughout my back, my arm. This feels really good. And again, this stretch here is good. Like, I'm an athlete. I'm a baseball player. My kids play sports, t-ball. So I'm coaching. I coach all the sports. So to be able to throw, so think about throwing. I'm extending this hip and my arm is going up. So I can throw. I can be able to do all these things. I'm 38, but I plan on being able to do this whenever I'm 78. Heck, when I'm 88. So you really got to focus on the mobility and being able to do all these things now, because if you don't, if you just work out, just get strong, do all this bodybuilding or CrossFit stuff, you're just going to get super stiff. And look, coming from the therapy background, the stiffer you get, the more risk for injury you are, the more prone for injury you're going to be, more tight and more stiff, and you don't want that. So hopefully these were helpful. Hopefully you find or see a new way that you can use the steel mace. If you like this video, please drop a comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you. Peace.